This is 15th of the CSE webinar series brought to you by Kingmakers IAS Academy, and this webinar is presented by Kamal Krishnan, myself. I'm a faculty at Kingmakers IAS Academy. Kingmakers IAS Academy is running a UPSC preliminary online program which started from 6th May, which covers end-to-end coverage of prelims, GS, general studies, as well as the CSAT paper. Every day, 2 sessions are held, each 1 hour session for 7 days a week, and it continues for 9 weeks. So totally 126 hours program, and it includes overview, explanation, summary, quiz and question answer sessions as well. These sessions are taught by serving and retired civil servants, CSE achievers, and eminent personalities and faculties of Kingmakers. This is the crash course. The fee for the program is just 9999 plus 18% GST, one of the low cost course available in the market as of now. And online payment link is also provided. You can subscribe for the course from here, from the Kingmakers IAS Academy website. And All India free mock test prelims test series is also provided. You can access this from kingmakersiasacademy.com website. The link is also given here. So this is the 15th session. There will be upcoming sessions in the webinar series. The next one will be on 20th May, which will be like when prelims 2020 is likely to happen and lockdown strategy to clear prelims. And on 22nd May, we will have a session on can a Tamil medium student become a topper in CSE exam. And on 24th May, a session on how to prepare for UPSC exam without coaching. The webinar will also be provided. Now coming to this is myself, Kamal Krishnan, presenting trend analysis and approach for UPSC CSE preliminary CSAT paper. Right, we'll start with the session and I'll pass in between so that I can take up your questions. Right. If you have any questions, just type in your question. I'll be reviewing it from time to time. Now, what is CSAT? CSAT is the Civil Services Aptitude Test conducted by UPSC. UPSC refers to this exam as General Studies Paper 2 or GS Paper 2. That's what it is called as, or it is generally called as CSAT paper. This paper was introduced in the year 2011. Earlier, it was a mandatory paper like paper 1, paper 2. You have to clear the marks of both the papers will be considered for qualifying the prelims. But from 2015 onwards, considering the difficulty of rural background students, it was made qualifying. That means if you clear GS paper 1, General Studies paper 1, but GS paper 2, if you didn't score 66%, 66 marks, which is 33 percentage marks, you will be out of the race. You cannot sit for the mains exam. So this becomes mandatory for people to prepare for this CSAT paper. What it tests, it just tests the analytical skills, reasoning ability and aptitude of UPSC aspirants. Let's go to the exam pattern and details. The exam consists of 80 objective type questions. Negative marking, yes, negative marking is there. 1/3 of the mark will be deducted for each wrong question. Time duration is 2 hours. Type of exam is offline. Language used is English or Hindi. Note it down, there is no other languages in which the exam is conducted. It is conducted either in English or Hindi. No other vernacular language is allowed. It won't be conducted in Tamil or Telugu or Malayalam. Maximum marks is 200 marks. Qualifying marks is 66 marks, irrespective of whatever your category might be. Calculator is not allowed. So you have to do your own calculations. So syllabus, the syllabus consists of Most of you know it. Just a recap: comprehension, logical reasoning, and analytical ability. This is like reasoning, which you see in other exams. Comprehension is they'll give a passage and ask questions on it, and what you infer from it, what the author says about it, what is the main idea of the passage. Questions like these come up. Decision making, you are given a situation like what happens if uh, something happens in a city, what measures will you take, and 4 options will be given. So you have to select the best option among those things. The trick about these questions is all the 4 options may sound right, but you have to choose the best one among them. General mental ability, which is nothing but maths and quantitative ability, and basic numeracy of class 10th level. Data interpretation is also asked: charts, graphs, tables, and data sufficiency, but generally of class 10 level. So we'll see the strategy to be followed for clearing these things and how to prepare for these things. The split. After 2015, we'll see how UPSC CSAT paper is constituted of, right? I'll consider data interpretation also as part of math and basic numeracy. Why? Because it also involves calculations. Why? Because it also involves calculations, percentages, averages, and ratio proportions. If you know these topics, then data interpretation is easy, right? So we can say that almost every year this is math. 30, approximately 30 questions are asked. Only in 1 year, it was 2018, max was asked very less, but instead of that they had compensated with data interpretation. So almost 30 questions was also there that year. And in 2019 you had a good number of questions from quantitative aptitude or math and basic numeracy, however you can call it, or data interpretation. Everything is part of max. So now you see the pattern hasn't changed much over the years. There was approximately the same number of questions with plus or minus 2 every year. The change is that much only. Logical reasoning, again, same number of questions are asked, almost 15 to 20 questions every year. And reading comprehension, every year you get around 28 to 32 questions, which is very important because 40% of the paper is reading comprehension only. Decision making, over the past 5 years, there is nothing like big questions asked from this topic. Only these 4 topics are very, very important, and we'll see how to strategize for these topics. Before that, how many questions are asked topic wise, we'll also see an analysis of that. Basic numeracy and number system, I have categorized it into multiple topics so that it becomes easy for you to study those topics which are frequently asked. This topic has a weightage, these topics has very much higher weightage in the aptitude paper. More than 40 questions have been asked in past 5 years, which means on an average 7 to 10 questions are asked from this topic. It may vary. 1 year it may be 7, 1 year it was 10, and sometimes 11 also, but on an average 7 to 8 questions are asked from basic numeracy and number system every year, which means basic numeracy and number system is nothing but whatever we studied in school syllabus, like LCM, HCF, whatever based on numbers we calculate. You need to understand the question and write it into equations. That is all what you want to need to do in basic numeracy and number system questions. We'll see some example questions later on. Percentages and profit loss. In this section also, more than 15 questions, 16 questions were asked, and probability and permutation combinations. I know this is one of the fear creating topic for many aspirants. And data interpretation. Data interpretation will have never been so difficult in UPSC CSAT paper. It is just like you can look at the graph and answer the question. Those kind of questions are generally asked in CSAT paper. Averages and ages and ratio proportion, set theory, time, speed, distance, time and work, miscellaneous. These miscellaneous consists of those topics which doesn't get repeated every year. These topics get repeated every year, but these miscellaneous items come once in a while, like geometry, that also basic, mensuration, basic, clocks, calendar, statistics, This constitutes very minimal number. But again, these are basic. If you have a knowledge of overview of these chapters, you can solve these questions as well. And we'll see about reasoning. Reasoning, the most important section is puzzles. And we'll see what kind of puzzles are also asked. Ranking, ordering, arrangement, like if A is greater than B, B is greater than C, who is the tallest, who is the shortest, these kind of questions. Logical reasoning, cubes and dices. They'll give a cube and then ask you like what is the number which is on this side or opposite to this side, those kind of questions. Critical reasoning, where they'll give a small passage and they'll ask you whether which statement is weakening or strengthening this argument. This is part of English also, but still critical reasoning is just a small passage like 2 to 3 lines, and they'll ask you what do you infer, what kind of statements strengthen the argument over there, weaken the argument over there. Blood relation, this we all know. Direction sense and number series missing terms. Visual reasoning, like they'll give a diagram and ask you what is the next diagram which will come according to the pattern. Alphabet reasoning, coding, decoding, seating arrangement. The most important thing about reasoning is there is no formula involved. Only practice will help. Understand the question, write it in the proper format which is necessary to solve the question, and you can crack it. Right? I'll tell you from where you can practice these questions as well. Now, the first step, you need to understand where you stand first of all. So start by taking 2 previous year question papers and solve those papers. Each within 2 hours, like you do for the exam, take 2 hours, solve one question paper, again take 2 hours, solve one question. Now you analyze the answers and mark yourself. If you are getting 110 plus, no problem. You don't worry, you need not worry about the CSAT preparation. Just before 2 months before the exam, you just take 10 marks over a time of 2 months. 2 months before prelims, you can take 10 marks, which is more than enough, and some revision of the concepts which is coming in the exams. This is more than enough for you people. But if you are in category B, 80 to 110, if you're scoring in this, you are also in good position, but you need some more effort so that you are in the comfort zone. You can't go into the exam hall thinking whether you will score above this mark or below this mark, because the question paper can be tough also. If it is tough, then you may end up scoring 20 marks less, so which will be less than the 66 marks pass mark. So you can't take the risk. So be prepared. You can analyze your paper, find the weak areas. Over the week, on the weak areas, spend 15 to 20 hours per month, which is like 45 to 1 hour per every day. Take regular test again to measure your performance. Clear? If you are in category C, if you are scoring less than 80 marks, then you need to do extreme hard work. First, analyze those papers, section wise analyze, like number system, how many you are getting right, percentages, how many you are getting right, how many you are getting wrong. So if you are getting more right and less wrong, then this topic you just need to revise. If you are getting less right and more wrong, then you have to prepare it from the basic. These subtopics you have to prepare again and again. So allot 1 hour per day for such topics when you start preparing for UPSC itself. Take mock test regularly and make sure that you at least attend. Don't target, even by attending 27 questions you can clear the exam, which will fetch you 67.5 marks. But that is not the target, right? If you get even 2 questions wrong, then by negative marking, your mark will go below 66 marks. Even you are losing the marks for those 2 questions as well. So you need to target at least more than 60 questions, so that even with 80% accuracy, you can clear the paper easily. Because English and all, you cannot say whether you will get 100% accuracy. Maths and reasoning, you can get almost 100% accuracy with practice. So from where does the questions come from? As per analysis, we can say that some of the questions did come from NCERT directly, just numbers changed. There was a question like penalty on contractor, like they have to be charged contract. This question was directly from class 10 book. And there was a question like boys who play neither football, there is a Venn diagram question. This was directly taken from class 11 book. There is only one topic which needs to be studied from class 11, which is Venn diagram, as we call it, or set theory. How many days food will last? If n number of workers are increased, these kind of questions are found in class 8 NCERT book. So what is my opinion? Questions of similar pattern and concept were tested every year as well, because these kind of questions get repeated. You can see from set theory, based on this Venn diagram question, there are a lot of questions. You saw, right, in set theory there were almost 6 to 7 questions asked over the 5 years. Each year you will get a question from set theory, and the questions doesn't change so much, right? From where can I prepare? You can prepare from the basics. Where? From the NCERT books. If you feel you're not good in maths, please start with NCERTs. This is the 6th standard textbook, and I'll tell you the chapters which has to be studied. Numbers. This is very basic, so you have to study almost everything from 6th standard. Fractions, what is decimal, how to handle these, data handling, this will help in data interpretation, and the basics of mensuration, algebra, ratio proportion, symmetry, practical geometry. These things you have to definitely learn, and it will not take much time. You need not solve exercise problems. You can just solve example problems. There will be just 5 to 10 examples for each chapter, and the basics you have to read it, and they are given in such a layman language that anyone can understand. And the exam will be conducted in English or Hindi, so there is no option for those who don't know Hindi. They have to know English. So better reading it from these NCERT ones. It can be done within 1 month. Every books can be studied within these 1 month and revised also. So just solve examples only, right? Then 7th standard textbook, again you have to do everything. You have to do everything. These all are important. Solid sphere symmetry, again the extension of what you learned in 6th standard. Most of the things will be repeating. Simple equations, lines, right? From 8th standard, rational numbers, these topics are important. Understanding quadrilaterals, practical geometry, data handling, squares and square roots, cubes and cube roots. Squares and square roots up to 20 square is enough. Cube and cube roots up to 10 cube is enough. Comparing quantities, algebraic expressions and identities like a plus b the whole square, whatever. We need to by heart these things. Visualizing solid shapes. Visualizing shapes will help in mensuration and geometry problems. Though they are not asked in huge numbers, they are very important if any, because most of the questions are concept based. You can't directly apply the formula. You need to know the concepts to understand it. So exponents and powers, directs and inverse, factorization, introduction to graphs, playing with numbers. Up to 8th standard, you have to be thorough. If you feel that you know all these things, then directly start from 9th standard. From 9th standard, number system, very important chapter. You have to learn everything. Laws of exponents for real numbers, these things need not be studied. Polynomials not required. They are not tested. Only linear equations come in the exam. Even quadratic equation didn't appear much in the examination. Coordinate geometry, you can take this. The questions are not coming nowadays, but it was previously asked before 2000. So you can even skip it as of now, but do keep in mind this can be studied later on from some YouTube channels or even from any other R.S. Agarwal book. You can learn this coordinate geometry. Linear equation for two variables, this is important. But graph of a linear equation, equations of linear parallel to x-axis, these need not be known. Just basically understand how to solve a linear equation. So introduction to Euclid's geometry, not required. Lines and angles, yes, this is important. Triangles, yes, you need to know about it, but you need to know little about it, like congruence criteria. Generally, there was only one question based on area of triangle till now. There are questions which were asked in the past, but nowadays our objective is to clear the exam, so we need not go deep into it. Know the basics of it, like what is congruence of triangles, what are some theorems related to it, and just refer to previous year questions whether these kind of questions were asked or not, right? And quadrilaterals, even knowing these things are important. Types of quadrilaterals, properties of parallelogram, another condition for quadrilateral to be a midpoint theorem. You need not memorize the theorem, but know that basic what is quadrilateral, right? If you have a quadrilateral, if it is a parallelogram, it is a quadrilateral, then know the properties that these two are parallel, these two are parallel. If you draw a diagonal, these diagonals will be equal or not. They won't be equal. If they bisect each other, these kind of properties are more than enough. An area of parallelogram, if you know the formula for it, that is also more than enough. Clear? That is what is given here. Areas of parallelogram and triangle. You have to learn this topic important than this topic. This is more important than this one. Circles. So even circles are very, very important, because circle is a very basic figure. You need to understand it from the basic. And too much of theorems is not required. The basic theorems like equal chord and their distance from the center, angle subtended by an arc, cyclic quadrilateral, circle through 3 points, perpendicular from the center to a chord. These are all important theorems. Don't waste time learning the theorem. Just by heart the output of the theorem. You're not going to write 10th standard board exam. You're going to use it for UPSC. Just know concept, like what is cyclic quadrilateral, how the cyclic quadrilateral will be, how the angles inside the cyclic quadrilateral will be, right? So Heron's formula is an important formula for triangle, but this formula is not tested much. But the basic formula to find the area of a triangle is half into base into height, which you should know. Knowing Heron's formula will not hurt you. And again, surface area and volumes, which is part of mensuration, yes, it is needed. Though not many questions were asked till now, but you can read it at the last based upon the number of questions asked the previous year. Statistics, basic understanding of mean, median, mode, and how this distribution will look like when mean is greater than mode or less than median. This will help you. Only like these kind of questions were asked only once, where when mean was greater than mode was asked, and how the distribution will look like. This you can get it from this chapter. Probability, you need to read because it has high weightage. It has to be read in depth. Yes, these things you can eliminate it safely. Now moving to 10th standard, again you have to read this thing. You need not read this thing. Pair of linear equations. Yes, you had already read this in 9th standard, but still you can revise it. Only example problems, don't do exercise problems, which will be a waste of time. Quadratic equation, you can learn it definitely, but hasn't been asked as of now, but this will help you in other exams. Arithmetic progression, very, very important. This needs to be learned. Though arithmetic progression is not directly asked as sum of n terms like that, but it will be helpful for you in averages and ages topic. Triangles, yes, you have to read it. Coordinate and geometry basics is enough. I don't think 10th standard coordinate geometry is required, but still you can have a look at it. Introduction to trigonometry. Trigonometry, no cos theta, no sin theta are asked. Only heights and distances. A person standing here makes an angle of 60 degree. No, not this kind of problems. Only based on Pythagoras theorem. Only based on Pythagoras theorem, the sums are asked. So you can skip those trigonometric ratios and all. You need not learn cos theta, tan theta, and those solving things, but you can just learn what is heights and distances. There will be a separate topic called heights and distances, which you can learn. Here it is given some applications of under some applications of trigonometry, heights and distances. Circles, yes, important. This theorem is important. Constructions, not for UPSC, but at least for other exams, this will be important. Constructions, not needed. Areas related to circles, yes. Surface areas, yes. Statistics, this chapter is not too much required, but have a look at it little bit. Probability, yes, you have to rate it. Probability and permutation combination or same part, and these things you can avoid it, right? So anyone had doubts regarding this, what to be read from NCERTs? This is for those people who are not able to solve even one or two sums in the question paper. If you're not able to get 80 marks, then you need to do this thing, definitely. Any questions? Abhinaya, yes. If you prepare for SSC, will it be easy for CSAT? See, if you're targeting CSAT and go, I mean, if you have cleared prelims in SSC, then you can easily clear CSAT. Very easy. Lokesh, no, more mathematical knowledge is not needed. I am telling you can strategize accordingly. See, number system questions are asked more in the exam. If you are good in English, you can concentrate more on English. Just that's what I'm saying. If you take a test, if you are getting 25 questions correct out of the 30 English questions, then you can clear the exam with English itself. Just focus on try to get from the remaining 50 questions, try to get at least 20 questions correct, which is not a difficult task. How many years of preparation is needed to pass UPSC? Abhinay, it depends upon the efforts you put in. Generally, people clear it in 6 months also. Some people clear it in 6 years also. But with correct strategy and efforts, you can clear it in the first attempt itself. If we prepare CSAT, we can we be able to clear all government exams? CSAT can be taken as a precursor for other government exams. If you're good with CSAT, then you can definitely keep it at the back of your mind that you're good in maths and English, so you can definitely clear other exams. Yes, Karan Kumar, that answers your question. Sir, whether it is necessary to work out NCERTs. NCERTs will help you to start from basics, Priyadarshini. If you have some problem with your basics, like you are not able to form an equation, if you can't solve this equation, for example, let me tell you, x plus y is equal to 11, 2x minus y is equal to 22. If such equation comes up, you have written this equation, right? But if you're not able to solve it, these kind of questions will come in CSAT. Then it is a big problem, right? So for that, we can go to basics and learn it. I'll tell you other books where without even referring to NCERTs, you can use that book. I can tell that book as well. I have attended some other classes, so whether it is important. I don't know whether attending some other classes will be helpful. It would be meaningful if you had solved some mock test over there and saw your improvement in that mock test. If you are scoring well, then you need not prepare separately. Yes, I'm telling some books. Yes, I'm showing the slide of 9th and 10th. Anyway, this PPT can be shared. You can copy it if you want. I'm showing this again. I'll move to the next slide. Yes. Just an overview is needed for all these topics. You need not learn everything, right? Okay. So I'll tell you what other books can you refer to. There is a book called by Sarvesh Verma. This book is for CAT, and there is another book which is called Arun Sharma. This is also for CAT. The best thing about this book is they explain school topics before starting a topic, but they don't have example sums from school topic. That won't be so much detail. So that's why I asked you to refer NCERT if possible. If you have time, if you have limited time, directly jump into these books. They will, and you can learn from this. From these books also, you need not solve CAT level problems. You can just solve level 1 problems, which is more than enough. And the example problem solved in that particular book. You need not solve every problem. They start from school, what is taught. They'll give simply like this book will explain in a lucid manner. First, they'll start with school basics. In 5 pages, they'll finish the basics, and then they'll start explaining difficult problems, and then they'll have exercise sums. In that exercise sum also, you can solve the level 1 questions. Answers will be provided at the back. You can use these 2 books, which are very, very good. Some find this easy, some find this easy. I always found this one easy. And we'll find the pattern. Actually, there is always a pattern. See this question asked in Venn diagrams. You can call it Venn diagram or set theory. There is no difference. In a group of 15 people, 7 can read English, 8 can read English, while 3 of them, 7 can read French, 8 can read English, and while 3 of them can read both these 2 languages. Number of people who can read exactly 1 language. Just read the below one. There are no boys with 19 boys turn out for playing. Out this 11 are wearing hockey, 14 are wearing hockey pant. There are no boys without shirts and pants. What is the number of boys wearing total uniform? See, the words are changed, but the problem remains the same. Similar kind of questions are asked every year. Every year, these kind of questions. I can put only 1 or 2 questions here. That's why I have put 1 or 2 questions. But there are similar questions of this kind asked every year. If you study this, you can score 2.5 marks without any doubt. For that, you have to refer only 1 chapter, which you can finish in 1 day, right? HCF and LCF, there were questions based on this, right? So one concept, you can score multiple answers, you can score multiple marks. And there is a concept called reverse digit. A number consists of 3 digits, of which the middle one is 0. So by interchanging the first and last digit, which means they are reversing the number. The difference between the number and the one obtained by reversing it. So they are reversing the digit. So there is a concept. If you know this concept, then you can score 2.5 marks. Every year, almost every year, this question is being asked or this concept is being tested, right? Reasoning also you can find. There are 4 different cities, PQRS. They're studying in Science, Arts, Commerce College, studying in Assam, Arts College. See, degree is given, state is given, subject, what else is given? ABCD is a member, and city, PQRS. These all are given. So you have to solve it based on the data given. You have to fill the table. If you fill the table, you will get the answer. 3 or 4 questions based on single caselet, which means 10 marks for the single caselet. And similar question again was asked. 6 people are there, 6 cities, 6 subjects, Again the same question, nothing different. Again 6 questions was asked for this question. Again you could have scored again 12 to 15 marks from this caselet. Similar pattern, there is no difference at all. I'm just putting few questions because limitation of time. There are n number of questions which got repeated like this. Where can you practice reasoning? We saw the split up of reasoning, right? Puzzles was the most. The puzzles which I previously showed you, right? This had the most weightage. Every year you get around 5 to 6 puzzles. So give importance to this. This is also easy. These kind of questions are asked every year, at least 3 to 4 questions, so you can solve it. Direction, very basic direction questions are asked, and blood relation. You cannot get it wrong. These questions are not very difficult. Very basic. The difficulty won't be up to the level of even bank exam or any other SSC exam. It will be very, very basic. So where can you book? Which book can you refer? R.S. Agarwal. There is a book called R.S. Agarwal, where just search for this topic in the index and start studying those topics or example sums given in that. Later you can solve those exercise sums also if you have time. In puzzles also do the same thing. For all the other topics do the same thing. There will be examples given, solve it, and exercise, solve at least 50 sums for each topic. Okay, at least 50 sums. So totally there are 14 topics. Into 50, you need to solve 700 questions. That also you need not solve 700 questions, because syllogism in the last 5 years it was asked, only 2 questions were asked. Sitting arrangement, there was 3 questions. Coding, decoding, there were few number of questions. These chapters has to be done extensively. These things can be mastered in few days. Visual reasoning, there's no need of practice at all. You can see it directly. These are not hard. So you need not solve 50 questions for this topic. If you're getting the first 10 questions itself correct, then just skip the topic, right? Okay, now we'll move to the most important section, which is English. There is one more book where you can solve this thing for reasoning, which is M.K. Pandey, which is a very good book. Very good. It gives shortcuts as well. This book can be used for other exams as well, especially banking and SSC exams. M.K. Pandey will be helpful. Just 1 minute. So the most important section is English section. How to prepare for this section? English generally comes easy with your preparation because you are reading newspapers every day. But if you feel that you are finding it difficult, the first thing you need to do is pick up your high school grammar book. Best high school grammar book is Wren and Martin. You just go through some of the basics, like how to use an article, noun, pronoun. If you don't know these things, most of them will be good in English, but if you're finding it difficult, then just have a revision of your high school grammar. Adjectives, how to frame a sentence, parts of a sentence, but these won't be asked in the exam, but this will help you improve your English writing skill as well. So read books which serves the twin purpose of improving in English as well as ideas for both papers. English is not learned, keep in mind that English is not learned overnight. You have to practice heavily to improve this. Overcome your fear so that you can clear this exam. Just will give you a tip on just reading comprehension passages are asked in CSAT paper. 30 reading comprehension questions will be asked almost every year. So I'll give you a hint of how to develop comprehending habit. Right now, you know, this is an editorial column which was asked the day before yesterday. This was in the newspaper. Just hide this heading. Just hide this heading. Read this topic. Even this also you can hide. Now you can read this passage. After reading this passage, the immediate need is to provide free food and cash transfers. Just try to summarize this passage in one sentence. Just try to summarize this whole, this subheading passage is there, right? Which we strike off. This, try to summarize this in one sentence, right? This one sentence which you wrote, right? You can write like it is about food and some transfer of cash is also mentioned, right? And priority should be given for this. So if you are writing this, now you should see what is the heading given. Now if it matches, both of them matches almost, it need not be exact words, it can't be exact words because you are not the author of the article. If it matches almost, then your comprehending skill is good. You can try this within 1 to 2 months, you will find improvements definitely. Again, for this passage, you read this passage and then you can guess the topic heading for this. Again, after reading the whole passage, you guess the heading here. If your summary of the whole passage is almost equal to the heading given, then your comprehending skill is good. So there won't be a problem. If you do this itself, it will improve your reading comprehension like anything, I guarantee you. So there are some other steps we can use, like you can use previous year questions of other UPSC exams like CDS, CAPF, all these exams you can use for practice, and SSC exams questions also you can use, which are available in the net. There is another book, if you're finding it difficult to improve your reading, then there is a book called How to Read Faster and Better. This will have exercises and marking as well. So doing this book will guide you very much in improving your English, and you can learn new vocabulary also from this book. The passages are very good. It is by a foreign author. This book is asked in used in US colleges, but this much work need not be done. First you have to analyze the paper, that is more important. If you're able to get good marks, then don't do it, don't waste your time. If you have the fear that you won't be able to do or crack English so easily, then strengthen maths and reasoning, then go to English. Since you will be reading newspaper for a very long time before preparation, that will help you in improving your English definitely. If it is not improving, try this books. This books will help you. There is another book where you can practice reading comprehension and critical reasoning questions. This is the GMAT book, official guide. Here also level 1, easy, medium, hard questions will be given. You can skip the hard questions. You can even skip the medium questions. You can just do the easy questions, which is more than enough. Do topic wise. Don't do unnecessary questions from GMAT. This book consists of grammar questions as well, but don't do such questions. Just do reading comprehension and critical reasoning. That is more than enough. And finally, keep in mind that the more you sweat and practice, the less you bleed in battle. If you work hard now, then you need not be, you can comfortably go to CSAT paper just like that. There shouldn't be any headache over CSAT at all. Any question and answers? We'll have the question and answer session now. Please ask your questions. Any doubt? Lokesh, you can contact the office, Kingmakers AIS Academy. They'll give me contact number or mail ID. How many months we need to prepare for CSAT? That's what I said. If you're scoring above 110 marks, then you need not prepare at all. You just take 5 to 10 marks and you can directly sit for the exam. If you're feeling that you're scoring less than 80 marks, then you have to prepare for at least 3 to 4 months. Or when you start preparing for the UPSC itself, start 1 hour per day. You can allocate 1 hour per day for CSAT as well. You will definitely see improvements. How many minutes we can take for one question? There is no thumb rule, Surya. You can take you can take around 2 minutes approximately, because you have 200 marks and 80 questions. So approximately you can take 1.5 minutes. But the question most of the questions can be answered in 30 seconds. Any questions? Please post your questions. Students, you can ask your questions. Is it okay if we cover from 6th to 10th from NCERT? It is okay, but you need to do from other sources. You need to definitely solve previous year questions, which is must, and solve. But 6th to 10th NCERT is for people who are finding it very difficult to even understand the question and start solving it. There are some mistakes which you will be doing, like you need not learn Vedic maths. I'll tell you, like, you need not learn Vedic maths. You need not learn Vedic maths, like how to solve faster, because you will have sufficient time. There are people who will be able to solve sums, but they will make silly mistakes, calculation mistakes. So for that to be avoided, you have to practice a lot. You have to take mock test. You have to analyze. You have to do these things. You can do everything taking your ample time. You need not be in a hurry to finish a problem. This is not banking exam or SSC exam. You will have sufficient time for the exam. You need to just pass the exam, right? So you will have sufficient time. Do the questions which are easy to attend, and then move on to the next question. Yeah, Sneha, you are in class 12. How to start my journey? Just focus on class 12 as of now, Sneha. We have an integrated course when you join college. So then on, you can start preparing. Just focus on your max when you study and all other subjects as well. As of now, your target should be clearing the 12th. Mohan Kumar, yes, approximately 55 to 60 questions should be answered to be on the safer side, because even after negative marking, you should clear it. Is that all? The questions are over.